How many times this week did you waste 5 minutes searching for some client file you know exists somewhere? Email attachment, Slack thread, Google Drive, folder on your computer. That's the chaos that Kepteasy eliminates. Let me walk you through the workflow. If you're a consultant, a marketer, or a web designer and developer that does client work, or you're a solo founder looking to be more organized, then this video is for you. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. That would help a lot. Here's what happens with most setups. 1. Time wasted searching for things. You spend more time looking for files, notes, messages than you do putting work in. Email, Slack, Notion, Drive, notes on paper, folders on your computer. 2. Context switching kills focus. You need to log into 3 to 4 different tools. Each time, this saps your mental energy and breaks your flow. 3. Client confusion and repeated questions. You end up becoming the middleman between you and your own organization system because your client can't find or source the information and answers that you've already provided. My principle is simple. Everything related to a client or a project in one place, one location. No searching through emails and threads or hunting through folders looking for something. If you can't find it within 10 seconds, it's broken. Kepteasy is a client portal that is built around that principle. It's one platform where you manage consulting engagements, web projects, and marketing campaigns. Each profession gets specialized tools, however, they're all built on the same foundation, sharing messages and communication and clients with some core tools like CRM, time tracking, invoicing, and white label customization. It replaces the scattered mess of email for communication, Drive for files, Asana for tasks, different tools for invoicing, and spreadsheets for time tracking, all which force you to jump between tools. It connects your client work, your time tracking, your invoicing, your project deliverables, all connected to the same client and or project and campaign if you want. No duplicate data entry, no wondering if everything's up to date. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is just jump over into the marketing platform here and quickly go through the workflow for setting up and managing a client's campaign. So say you got a notification message from a client of yours and just, hey, I just approved the strategy we discussed and I've uploaded some files for you to use. Okay. So you go and you check out the strategy and here you have Mountain Peak Coffee Spring campaign for a local cafe. And so you can always just view it quickly to see what the strategy was you talked about. Summary, there's an overview, progress, dates, who created it, a linked campaign. And then so give yourself an idea of what it was. And then so they've accepted the strategy. So generally then you could come over here and create a new campaign. Campaign title, description, client. You can assign it to staff if you have staff. What phase, stage the campaign is at. Whether it's active, paused, etc., the start date, target launch, objective, budget, and create that campaign. And so I already did this here. You can view the campaign again after you've created it, and you get a little different view with some information for yourself there. So then you can come to files and you can download some files from the client similar to what we had in the web if they're sharing anything. Or say if you're doing it yourself, you can always go to wherever you get your assets, your stock stuff, if you're creating the content, etc. So then what you could do or might want to do is jump into something like assets. And then in assets here, you can upload your assets if you downloaded them somewhere else. As well, you can pull from existing files that are in the file selection. And so, for example, we could just say spring campaign photo. You can choose like photo. You can just have a description. It's optional. And say this one wasn't in the files there, so you could just like upload it here. And what do we have here? Here's some photos. So yeah, upload a photo. You assign it to this campaign. You can tag it, put the dimensions, the hex color, and add some notes. You upload the asset. And now you have that uploaded, so that we can do another one here. And we can say this one maybe is just a little value prop, category, value proposition. And we can put in something like 25% off our new cold brew collection or something. And assign it to your client and the campaign. And all that's optional. You can add some metadata. You can upload that asset, and then you get value proposition here. And then we're going to upload some ad copy, category, ad copy template, just ad copy for socials, ads, text, email. And then you can choose a file. So you got your ad copy for your client there. You upload it, tag your client and the campaign, upload the asset. And then what you can do is you can go, okay, let's just check out what we have here. So we can choose a client and then choose the campaign. There we go. And so then you can look at a collection of assets that you have for your client for this specific campaign right here. And then they will also see it on their end. So this helps with also with approvals. So then you can get everything together, all separated here, and then you can click on it and you get all this information. You can download it. Your client can see this as well. It gives you size, campaign, everything. So it's a good way to be able to really organize and look at things how you need. You can go to add copy, you download, your file downloads, and bam, right away you're just reading some ad copy from your campaign. So then what you can do is, now say you've made your ads, you have some ads in your like ready to go in their Meta account or their Instagram or whatever it is you're doing. So then you can come to preview portal and you can add a preview. You can choose your client and it'll say like social media ad, and this will be just like, I don't know, meta ad, right? Platform, Facebook, active awaiting review, new ad for Mountain Peak, spring campaign. I'll just say mobile. And then you can choose a file and say you take a screenshot of your ad, you pump it there, add creative brief. I'll just leave all those are all optional. And then you add the preview. And then we can go back and we can look at, just say, add another preview quickly. We can do this preview type like email, platform, email. Then same sort of thing, Mountain Peak, spring campaign email, awaiting review, email template for lead gen. This is like whatever, desktop, right? And then you can choose the file. And say you have like 3 different, we'll just use this one. And we'll just tie it to the campaign again. We'll add the preview. And now, if we come back, just go back to the beginning here And so now again, we'll just say, okay, we'll go look through this by client and specific campaign. Now we've got all the previews of specific campaigns. So now your client can come in here and be like, oh, meta ad, let's view this. They view it. They get an idea of what the ad looks like, what to review, comments, and they can comment, and then they can ultimately on their end approve it. So then you just quickly upload it, for now manually, in later versions automatically. And then they just view this, they go, oh, okay, if they don't like something, they can comment here. And then they approve that just like that. And so then once that's approved, you get the approval in here, and then bam, you go to their account and you just put the ad live. And then you can go to performance and say, add a new health score for the same client. And you can say, well, this is like a spring campaign, so that it's like April 1st to like, I'll just say it's going to like May 31st. Period label, Q2 spring campaign, overall score. You can just manually put this in right now. Content health, channel health, engagement health, conversion health, budget efficiency, summary, initial health score of Mountain Peak socials and channels, something like that. You create the score, and then they see that. We can then add an insight for it. We'll say opportunity, and we'll say engagement health, and say high priority, title, social engagement, observation. Customers are posting questions and replies are either taking too long or non-existent. And just say because nobody is actively monitoring or engaging in responding on all social channels, like that. Enable notifications, reply within 5 minutes or something, right? Like, you know, or add AI or auto reply. Metric name, engagement rate, metric value, say like 25% or something. Trend, stable, health impact, 25. Link to other items, campaign. And then you can just create insight. Bam, and then you have this sort of social engagement and opportunity, high priority. And then so your client on the other end will see that. And they will get an idea of, oh, social engagement, something that needs to be done. Just like that. And then say you're running the campaign and you have a new lead come in. For now, it'll just, in version 1.0 manual, so you've got John Doe, John an example, whatever. 555, 555, 555, sure, Acme Inc. Let's say it's a local ladies club organizer or something, and then lead source would be like email campaign, Mountain Spring, status new, lead score 95, estimated value, because they want to organize something, you know, it could be, we'll just say put $1,000 in there. You can assign it to somebody that's your client just to tie everything together. Next follow-up in like that time, and then add the lead. And now come down here and you've got John Doe new in the lead. And so, you know, sure, a local coffee shop, you may not need to do serious lead gen for everybody that wants to buy a cup of joe. However, there's situations where you may want to, because they have an organization or something and they could bring in a lot of extra money. And so that is a quick little breakdown on how we can run just a workflow through of some marketing, where you can get notified of a message, client approves a strategy, you create the campaign based on the strategy that you had, you then download some files if needed, you take the files you've created if you're doing the content, you can put them up into an assets so you can organize them and get an idea so that it's easy for your client to check them out. You can then go and get the ads started in their account, ready to be published. For now, just you can screenshot it, take an idea. Maybe you're working in another program like a Figma where you're organizing something, upload it into the preview portal, send it to the client. They can go and check everything out, approve it, and then you can just flip over, start your campaign. Everything's running live, and then update a performance score so you can track it so they get an idea of the current health, the opportunities, and then what happens with it, if it improves or gets worse. And then you can also manage the leads, add some leads, and just like that, keep everything contained. As you notice, just the messages, emails, assets, everything right in there. You're not jumping around. And that's a nice, quick way to do a good workflow. If you remember one thing from this video, it's that client work doesn't have to be chaos. Chaos comes from scattered tools, files, tool hopping, and jumping around. You don't need less features. You need better organization. And that's what Kepteasy does. So if you're currently doing client work, whether it's consulting, marketing, or web, think about your current process and workflow. Where does your communication and messages happen? How do files get sent and delivered? Where are you tracking your files and your versions? How is time tracking happening? Where does invoicing happen? How does your onboarding and your proposals connect with the rest of your platform? How do you have your specialized tools for what you're doing? Or do you have multiple logins and multiple ways that you're communicating and delivering and monitoring and tracking? This is where Kepteasy comes in handy and solves all of these problems, along with things like the automatic transcribing of sessions. It allows you to focus more. You're streamlined. You don't have to be multitasking. As well, you have much better tracking and approval flows with tasks, all built within the one platform. And so in the next video, we're going to go into more the business operations side instead of just the client management, and show you how things like the time tracking, the invoicing, the CRM all connect together to allow you to run your business within this one platform that isn't just managing a client message or files or deliverables, and instead gives you the tools you need to run the financial, the lead side of it, as well as tracking time, so that it's just easier to invoice and cut down a bunch of steps and the need for a lot of different third-party providers when you just want to focus mostly on handling your client business. So if you're a consultant, a marketer, or a web designer and developer, or a solo founder that's building things, or if you're just into client management systems and Django multi-tenant SaaS stuff, you should subscribe to the channel and like the video. It would help a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.